Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Woodrow from 11 O'Clock Comics, and it's time to connect with DC Comics. Yes, I know some of you thought it wasn't going to happen this month because it's later in the month than usual, but have no fear. I wasn't going to do you like that. We are going to look at the relatively thin, but still exciting DC Connect catalog for April 2023, and these are 4 books that mainly will be hitting your shelves in June or later. So let's jump in. First up is Poison Ivy. I hadn't been reading this at first, but then I caught a glimpse of Marcio Takara's art on a Felix Liu art drop and was blown away and thought, I need to check this out. I caught up on the series. I think I read the first 8 or 9 issues. Talked about it at the time on the podcast a month or 2 back, so you can go back and listen. And thought it was awesome. G. Willow Wilson is a terrific writer, and they're making beautiful music together. So I've been reading this ongoing ever since, and will continue to do so. You all know I probably sound like a broken record at this point praising Nightwing. I've been calling it DC's best superhero book for probably going on 2 years now. But Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo continue to crush it. And with Nightwing 105, we've got them returning to a conceit that many people adored the first time they did it, which is they told an entire issue from a perspective of a different perspective. At the first time they did it, it was more of like a side scroller type of a situation where it was one continuous action scene. This time they're doing a point of view issue where Bruno basically is drawing it as though we are Dick Grayson. So we're seeing this world as though we are Dick Grayson. And that's not an easy feat for a cartoonist, right? Because they're not asked to do it that way very often. So I can't wait to see what he pulls off. And Redondo continues to build his resume as one of the better superhero storytellers of his era. And we're going to continue with the DC love here with Superman number 5. Josh Williamson writing, Jamal Campbell on art. I totally aboard this rebranded, rebooted Superman. So far, so good on that, which I know makes Dap's heart sing because he's always down for Superman, but I come and go with it. I'm actually out more than I'm in. So right now it's working for me. And so much so that I'm also excited about other Superman books, including Adventures of Superman John Kent, which is up to number 4. That is written by Tom Taylor and art, just beautiful art by Clayton Henry. Clayton doesn't do as many interiors as he used to do, but boy, oh boy, when he decides to do them, he still crushes it. Just beautiful stuff. We've got Green Lantern number 2, written by Jeremy Adams and art by Monaco. Haven't obviously read the first issue of this new volume yet since it hasn't come out, but I'm excited for the new creative team and the direction they appear to be taking the book. And similarly, we've got Green Arrow number 3, written by Josh Williamson with art by Sean Izaakse. The cover of this is super fun. I'm generally at the point in my collecting where I don't get too worked up about new characters. Like, it doesn't mean anything to me from I got to pick this book up because it's got a new character. But when it's organic and the characters are well done, I'm always down for new faces and names. So, I could see some people rolling their eyes at DC making such a big deal out of a new character alert. Like, that's corny. But that said, I got to say the idea of Peace Wrecker, which appears to be a female version of Peacemaker, I'm here for that. That kind of cracks me up, especially if it's done with a bit of tongue-in-cheek humor to it. Peacemaker is quite popular these days thanks to the John Cena TV show, which was very well done. And I think we've got season 2 coming up soon, which is probably why we're getting Peacemaker featured in the comics this month. But either way, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the idea of a new female antagonist Peacemaker. And I haven't yet talked about it on the show, but I did read the first issue of Unstoppable Doom Patrol, written by Dennis Culver with art by Chris Burnham. And boy, oh boy, was I pleased. I love Doom Patrol in most of its forms. And so I wasn't surprised that I enjoyed it, but I really thought that Burnham, unsurprisingly, is just such a great fit with his stylings. I mean, it's just the right fit for the right idea, right? He can do the crazy, he can do the the fantastical. He can do the oddball stuff, and that's really what this book is about. So we've got a bit of a new team in the sense that we've got a new chief, and we've got, well, it's not a new character, but a new character is now in charge. Put it that way. I'm being a little vague in case you haven't read the first issue yet. And we've also got a entirely new character called Beast Girl. But yeah, so far so good. I thought the first issue was awesome, and I hope that they maintain that level of quality throughout the 6-issue run. It's a 6-issue miniseries. Last month we talked about how excited I was that Titans is being brought to the forefront as DC's flagship superhero team. And we've got issue number 2 here, written by Tom Taylor with Nicola Scott on art. And in the solicit, it says a Titan is murdered. So I think we're setting in motion the first big story arc of this new Titans run. Speaking of Peacemaker, we've got issue number 2 of Peacemaker Tries Hard! ! This is written by Kyle Starks, which you guys know that I love Kyle's work, and art by Steve Pugh. So we get a double dose of the old Peacemaker this month, and I'm here for that. And we've got Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker, number 2. Not on with these length of some of these titles, right? But Sean Murphy's going Sean Murphy. But this is a story by Sean Murphy, written by Katana Collins, who is Sean's wife, for those that don't know, and Clay McCormick, with art by Mirka Andolfo. I believe I highlighted the first issue of this last month, so I'm not going to belabor it. But, I've enjoyed the White Knight world quite a bit. And I know some people figure like there's so many Gotham books in the main universe, you don't need Elseworlds Gotham stories, but I'm here for it. I think it's quite good, and I like the vibe, and they always have fantastic art, and I think Mirka Andolfo is certainly more than up to the task to join that pantheon. And then last but not least, we've got Batman Superman World's Finest, written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora. This is issue number 16. Just wanted to make sure I highlighted this. This is nothing particularly special about this issue. Just wanted to remind you all that I am continuing to read and enjoy this series. And that will do it for DC. DC doesn't put out as many comics as they used to, but that may be a good thing. There's not a lot of fluff, and there's still a whole bunch of books that I very much am looking forward to diving into, as I'm sure is the case for you all. So I hope there's a few nuggets here for you to suss out before you finalize your orders, and I will be back next month.